dissatisfied customers, how do you handle them, especially when it has to do with bad press? Because you see, most persons, when they are dissatisfied, they go to social media, they post stuff, and then send the hashtag, and it goes viral. It could cause so many harm for the brand. So how do you handle bad press?
Well, in Nigeria, we do things the opposite way, in most cases. And the technology had been used somehow negatively in some instances, which is not supposed to be the case, by the way. You know, it travels so fast, okay, and it's difficult for you to actually manage a bad situation, you know, after it has happened. I can't prefer any solution to that because of the interactive nature of, you know, technology. If you did something wrong to me today, I have different platforms. There is Facebook, there is WhatsApp, there is
Twitter, LinkedIn.
There is Twitter. There are so many of those platforms within the technology space. And people can either use it positively or they can use it negatively. There are several blogs. You know, this is the only market where I see so many blogs, in my view. I mean, you can start one tomorrow. You can start one tomorrow.
Definitely.
And when you do that, you have created a little space for yourself. And if somebody did something wrong to you, if you went to the market or you bought a bottle of, I don't want to name any brand, if you want to, you know, and you get totally dissatisfied, you go online. Okay? When you go online, a lot of other people will get to know about it. They now have their own subgroups, and the subgroups, and before you know it, it spreads. And one of the, it's not even about brands alone. It's not about, you know, consumer brands alone. It also asks about corporate identity. Look at what is happening in Nigeria today in the areas of fake news. Okay? And how it spread. Okay? So technology is good. You can either use it negatively or you can use it positively. But in most cases, what we pray and we preach is to make sure that, you know, we energize ourselves and ensure that we are using it in the right way to build the brands. And it's an enhancer. It's not a solution. It's an enhancer. It enables you to do everything that you need to do within a very short space of time.
I know you're itching to say something, sir. No, what I'm saying, you've not really hit the nail. The thing is, how do you handle it? How do you make changes? Do you make a press release to correct an impression? Because somebody may have said something to tarnish that brand image. And the minute your brand image is down, So what do you do to restore trust to your consumers?
There are other areas in the wake of negative, you know, brand representation. And we have other platforms where you can actually gauge, you know, the movement of your brand in the market.
Sorry to cut you. We have a caller on the line. Nora from Abuja. Hello, Nora. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Nora.
Hi, good morning. It's
good morning.
Good to tune into your station and to watch this. I like the session. It's pretty interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have a question. Now, you're talking about brand management in the digital era. Now, there is this thing that people say that there is no such thing as bad press or bad publicity, that every publicity is publicity. Is that really true?
Okay. Thank you.
You will have to repeat that question because the line is not clear.
Yeah. People say there is no bad press or bad publicity. Is that true?
Well, I don't believe that. You say, if anybody does anything that is damaging to you personally or to the brand that you represent, you need to go into a lot of damage control, you know, and see how you have to find a way of correcting any kind of bad vibes might have gotten. But what I was mentioning to, what I was, you know, alluding to initially is that in the wake of all these, negative mentions and the rest of it, there is also another device which enables you to monitor your brands, okay? And you will be able to identify where problems are coming from, even before it gets out. And we have, that's in itself is a specialization, okay? In a room like this, you have all different computers, okay? And what they are doing is they are monitoring what is happening as far as your brand is concerned. We won't do it for every brand. We will do it for the brand that we are handling. So if anything, let's say Maggie, if anything is going to happen, or even Coca-Cola, if anything is
brand that you are mentioning, and you're going to pay for it.
I tried not to, but the only way I can do this.
We know that, but then you have to. It's fine, you can mention, but just know when you're leaving.
It's okay.
Exactly.
Let's say a particular brand.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right, and something, somebody is saying something bad about it. High Impact Planet. Okay? High Impact Planet is a brand that I'm so much passionate about. Okay? And something happens to it. And somebody is saying something that is wrong. By that device, the computerization that we have put it in place, we can monitor. Immediately we are signed on, we try to scan the entire environment. And we will be able to nip it in the bud before it gets to the market and inform the client that somebody is saying something like this. Okay. And that is what technology allows us to do. Okay, so before it comes out, we have already, nip it in the bud and do something. Let me give you another example. Okay. And I'm going to use High Impact Planet as well.
Beautiful.
I was driving out one day, and I noticed that there is some kind of a partnership between FCMB and, High Impact Planet. And what I saw was FCMB logo. And I'm like, wanted to say something?
You just said something, but just go ahead.
No, you see, that one is ongoing anyway.
Okay.
So
yes.
you already have a partnership anyway. But what I'm driving at is that I noticed immediately that High Impact logo, this logo here, no, even the one carrying the mother brand itself was not present. The name was there, and I sent a message to the MD immediately. I said, look, High Impact, as you have said it, could be High Impact anything until you have your own brand differentiation, which is this insignia and the logo and the icon that High Impact represents. And if it is not there, believe me, it's quite flat. Okay? So they were able to change that immediately. Okay? That is the essence of brand communication. Okay? Because it was right on the screen. Okay? So for me, you need to make sure that you put in several devices that will mitigate against any kind of negative publicity that might come. Believe me, there will always be negative publicity. Sure. It's not because your brand is not good. It's not because you are not good. I'm sure you have people that will talk negatively about you. Even as good as you are, as beautiful as you are, somebody will say, oh, why is she wearing those braids? I don't even like it. Okay?
Yeah,
it's negative.
Yeah, true.
Okay, and before you know it, it's already,
going viral.
It's going viral.
So join us tomorrow for another exciting episode of Tea or Coffee